More than 800 items make up the witness blanket, all representing the experiences of residential school survivors. The piece was created by master carver Carrie Newman, and for the first time since 2017, it's on public display at the Canadian Museum for Human Rights.
This new exhibit, Preserving a Legacy, revolves around the restoration and the conservation of the various pieces on the blanket, taking into consideration, where the pieces came from. What is the stories and spirit that are held within each of them, and how do you best care for them in a museum setting where you aren't disrupting or affecting their that sort of underlying purpose for being.
In 2019, Newman entered into an agreement with the museum in Winnipeg, which would see the CMHR work with the artist to preserve the large piece.
The museum is a place of dialogue. It's a place of conversation. And the partnership that we have and the way that we've been able to present about the witness blanket, about residential school history in the context of global genocide, I think is critical to holding this country, holding ourselves to account.
For years, the blanket was on a traveling tour, but wear and tear from that prompted Newman to halt the tour. Stephanie Chapilsky is part of the team tasked with preserving and conserving the piece.
We're trying to honor the spirit of each material. It's not just physical. There's a living quality to each material on the witness blanket.
One of those pieces is a statue of the Virgin Mary. Artist Linda Young submitted the piece from her residential school in Onion Lake Cree Nation. Young's work is also featured in Activism, another exhibit opening alongside the witness blanket. It uses art to share the stories of mass atrocities and genocides across the world, including the creation of residential schools.
And I don't really know on one level what genocide means, but I do know what it feels like to be in a place and you are taken and it's like you just get turned inside out, you get disconnected from your family.
The Auschwitz Institute in New York developed the exhibit. They reached out to the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation to ask them to provide pieces from their collection.
As an archivist, I thought, which one would have, the most artistic expression, a combination of artistic expression and just a poignant embodiment of the experience of residential schools.
Young submitted the installation to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in 2012. At the time, she never believed it would be put on the international stage.
My goal was that I wanted that to take up space in the Ottawa archives, because for me, that story and all the survivor stories needed to be preserved, kept, and remembered.
Both exhibits are on display until January 2022. Brittany Hobson, APTN National News, Winnipeg.